Hello everyone, this is Funs Welcome Funs. Welcome to another video back on the channel. So what we're specifically going to be talking about today is Onlyoneof and what's going on with them probably for the rest of this quarter of the year and Love's departure. I decided to just lump both in just in case, one didn't happen to be substantial enough to be its own video specifically regarding the Love situation just because I don't know. Something tells me that we might either get really concise answers or really complicated ones. So let's jump straight into it. So, as rarity would have it, I'm gonna be shuffling live on the mic to see, if it was Love's choice to leave the group and the company. Ooh. So the first card to come out is a hard no with the Tower. But just for that sake, I'm gonna pull it again, and we'll see what's going on with that. Ooh. So the answer yet again is giving no, he did not choose yet to leave the company, and it probably could have been embroiled in some scandal inside of the company. So I mean, I guess let's just jump into why or what happened. So getting straight into it, we've got two piles. We've got one pile that details why what happened, and the second pile in terms of how he feels and the overall energies. I mean, I'm assuming most of you, maybe if you're returning subscribers, know how I usually like to go about this. But if you don't, I'm gonna read you all the cards in one fell swoop, tell you what each pile is, and then we'll get into the messages. So first, starting off with pile number 1 is why he left 8 of Swords, the Emperor, Page of Wands, and Empress, Justice. And the second pile, how he felt, the Sun, Reverse, Knight of Pentacles, 4 of Pentacles, 5 of Wands, overall bottom, 3 of Swords, King of Cups, 8 of Pentacles, Knight of Swords, 9 of Wands, and the Empress. So, straight up, okay, going into what happened. It seemed like it became a very messy situation in terms of possibly involving his family. Why I say that is we have the Emperor and Empress here, but they have very much parental energy to me. So it could have been involving either his parents. Like, I'm not going to say they so far as did this, because I'm not going to make any hard assumptions. But I could theoretically see a situation where they go up there because they're trying to free their son from, maybe a contract, because not because, he's scared or whatever, doesn't want to be an idol anymore. It feels more so like they're like, we have made the decision that this is not a good choice for you to sell your life away to this business and this industry, especially now where you are at, and it's not making you the kind of money that a normal job would be making you. So they went up there to do what they're going to do and to take him out. That's what it feels like, straight up. He himself might have also been kind of having some issues and expressing some grievances about what's going on with the group, or him maybe not getting to achieve some of the things he wanted to do personally. Like maybe his intentions and or goals could have been like to have some solo music on the side or try to practice his producing or whatever, something like that, but he didn't really get to doing it. So he expressed those grievances to his parents. And either way, whatever he could have said to them, whatever situation he was in, they took that shit seriously and they went to go save their kid. They saved him, but it doesn't mean that he felt good about it. So we're just gonna segue straight into how he felt. And he was probably upset and probably had to go through some grieving. And it also feels like he might not ever really talk about it publicly, or at least as of the time of reading. I wouldn't say a hard never, but he's going to be shut up about it for a little while. Maybe there's some sort of confidentiality agreement, post his departure up to the group. But there's also just this feeling here that he himself is really not fucking with speaking about what's going on. He, will forever ride for this group and, keep supporting them in their efforts and what's going on with them. But it was a fight to the end. And he could have either been fighting his parents or fighting those at the company. But it more so feels like he ended up kind of fighting with both until he just gave in and kind of let it happen. Because in this situation, it genuinely feels like the control was lifted up out of his hands, the consent was kind of taken away from him, and decisions were made a little bit out of his reach. So he's like, I'm not going to disrespect my parents to, I don't know, whatever it is. Maybe it's cultural implications or just his personal internal honor. But he also did not want to slight his friends or, maybe those he cares about at the company if he cares about them. I'm not saying that he doesn't, but, we have to consider all sides of the situation. So now remaining with the overalls, it just kind of feels like it's a situation where he was really trying to maybe make being an idol work, so he didn't have to go to school. So he didn't have to follow the traditional route that maybe everyone else has to. But he also might have found himself really looking back and considering, maybe I should do so. Maybe he's even had friends of his outside of the group that, were telling him, maybe you should just go now while you still have the chance. So it seems like he also, despite how messy the situation was when it happened, he kind of was like, well, you know what, let's just see what happens. I'll try the other route. And hopefully it doesn't hurt me too much leaving the industry and realizing maybe I want to go back. So, I mean, he wasn't among the happiest, dare I say, but it seems like he might be doing pretty okay now. But in terms of finding him post this group might be a bit difficult. So it is. Tell me what you guys think about this situation. Drop a comment about it. But we're gonna move straight into the next situation. Situationally, what's going to be going on with Onlyoneof as a group for the final quarter of this year. Let's go. So I'm gonna be honest. Oop, hold on, let me move them. I just decided to preliminarily cut all of that noise out. Anyways, straight up, I'm gonna be honest with you. This group has a lot of weird energy around them. And there's a lot going on. There's gonna be a lot going on from the part, at the time of reading to the end of this quarter, the year for them. So I guess I'm just gonna go straight in. I'm gonna read the cards to you in rows because there's a lot of rows. So row number 1 is Ace of Wands, the 8 of Pentacles, King of Cups, 10 of Cups. Row number 2 is the 7 of Wands, the Fool, Devil, 10 of Pentacles, Queen of Wands, King of Wands, 8 of Cups, Knight of Cups, and the third row is the Moon, 4 of Cups, and the Tower. Overall bottom energies are 5 of Cups, Magician, Ace of Swords, 8 of Pentacles, and 3 of Cups. So they are going to endure a bit of trials and tribulations. In terms of all of that, besides all this information, we will pull for one final card before the end and just see if they're going to be having another comeback before the end of this year. We'll see about that. So going into, I guess, this first chunk, it seems like there's weird infighting going on with the group. It doesn't even necessarily feel like it's over creative decisions. It just feels like people squabbling. There is maybe a slight bit of like creative, I guess, differences, only because it's like there's somebody who's ready to keep pushing their motherfucking solo stuff. They're ready to keep going and hustling that shit because now they feel like they have hit it big and found their motherfucking passion to keep going. Now there's someone else who's like, yo, what the fuck? What about the group? I know exactly who I could envision this being, but I'm not gonna make any hard assumptions. So y'all, maybe if you know them well enough as, a group, and you know the members well enough, you might be able to put it 2 to 2 together, maybe, who it could be. But they're fighting. They're bickering, and the other one might just be like, man, fuck you, and could even find, it's gonna sound so wild, but end up writing a song about it. Which, they're gonna make it probably pretty ambiguous. If it ends up, coming all the way to press and publish, it's giving that there might be something in there that can confuse everybody and make them like, why was this written? Who was this written about? Enough so that there's gonna be some people who will be like, man, this person has hated this person since the beginning of time, when others are gonna be like, huh, I thought all the members loved each other. So that could cause a stir. But anyway, that's besides the point. It just seems like there's infighting, period. Motherfuckers arguing with each other. There's not really somebody that seems to fully always mediate the little squabbles and, keep them from conflating. Just like how someone, if they don't stomp out or snuff out a match or a cigarette, it could start, and set the whole park on fire. Thus so it is. So I guess, part 2 of this quarter is someone might be revealing that they could be returning to education in some sort of way. Dare I say, it doesn't necessarily feel like a departure from the group, but they might mention like, oh, I've been doing online classes, guys, aren't you proud of me? This is some stuff, that I used to do before, but now I'm just doing it in my free time. It also, there's this implication that this person is a little bit fearful that for some reason there's still some things in the group that's going to cause them not to take off and not make up as much money as, I don't know, like, I guess the top creators. They're not gonna be hugely crazy mainstream, even though I feel like they're pretty close to mainstream now. I would not doubt that. But there's one of them that still has this fear, like, what if we don't go anywhere, or we happen to do something that's going to shame all of us and shame all of our names? So I'm gonna go ahead and start preparing myself to that transition to real life now. Next quarter, it seems like there's going to be something that is either it's very much going to imply a relationship, or it could be the formation of some sort of bond and or friendship that's going to have a lot of hot tension. So let's say, for example, they take 3 of the members and send them off to I wouldn't say a survival show, but maybe some sort of variety show, and they end up really like gelling with the members or main cast of that show, and they really fuck with each other. There's a lot of weird, strange romantic tension, but it's funny, it's fun, and it probably brings in a lot of views, and it does a lot of good things. However, one thing I do see moving into the next quarter for them, without sparing 1,000 details, is that there could be some controversy. It has a bit of like Ida and Hilda energy, is that somebody could be preparing to reveal their relationship status, and it's like, this is my motherfucking person, so take it or leave it. Like, they're kind of just going to throw it out there because they're like, I'm tired of hiding it, I want to be free. There's almost like this childish energy where they're not really thinking of what everyone else is going through, and they're about to just try to, in a way, drop that bomb and see what happens, and see either this could lead to their departure, the group going radio silent for a while everyone else behind the scenes is trying to kind of pick up the pieces, and everything working out. Either way, it's still possibly going to cause a bit of a stir. If it's not specifically about like a romantic relationship, this could just be about relations in their group, is that there could be a bigger fight. So like I said, that match in the beginning, the cigarette in the park that was not snuffed out, could just go kaboom. So let's say, for example, putting in a situation, they're on live together, maybe 3 members. 2 of the members have kind of been bickering and beefing, and then it gets to a head, and they're beefing on the stream. And then, the 3rd member who's trying to like mediate it is like, okay, now we have to cut this shit off because y'all not finna embarrass us and fuck up everything that we have going. So things for them are looking a bit strange. But what it feels like to me looking at all of this is this could be a lot of behind the scenes stuff and going on with their personal affairs, rather than stuff that everything that the public is going to know and or see from them. So this is very important why we pull for that final card as a yes or no. Wasn't they going to be having a comeback? But anyway, before we get to that, we're just going to address the overalls and then move in. So there, I would say at least 2 members, 2 to 3, could be enduring some emotional turmoil. It seems maybe it's because of transits or things going on in their personal lives, but it kind of just feels like, also, since they're not really busy with 1,000 promotions, they're kind of stuck and able to kind of wallow in their feelings. Maybe, I'm sure at times they can throw themselves into their role, but it doesn't seem like there's quite as much to do to prevent them from getting in their feelings. But it's really not enough or paralyzing enough to take them away from working. Thus also, the 8 of Pentacles is here yet again, so there might be someone or something in relation to potentially higher education that will be mentioned with some members, or maybe some of them will just be talking about how they're taking English classes. Hell, who knows? And 3 of Cups, the bonds in the group that are good are going to be getting stronger, and the ones in the group that are not great are going to be getting weaker. Thus, as I'm sure all relationships and dynamics will move over time. So I mean, nothing really too crazy. I just decided to combine them together. You already know what it is. We are just gonna wrap up. I'm gonna clean all these cards up and pull straight on the mic. As for are we getting a comeback? So I'll be right back. So everything is cleaned up. We're just gonna pull straight on the mic. Will Onlyoneof be having another comeback this year before the year ends? Seems like I feel like I almost had to fish it out. But the Ace of Pentacles was the card that flipped out. So the answer is likely yes. We will be getting a comeback from Onlyoneof before the year is out. So that's all I got for you. Post some comments. Tell me your theories, what you guys think. Feel free to go ahead and run over to Tumblr. And yet again, also tell me what you think. Send some requests for the blog. And that's all I have for you. If you can't get down with the get down, don't get down with friends. I know.